Ah, let's go. You see it? You see it? Oh my goodness. Y'all, it is no secret, and I have professed this before, that I am a fan of conventions. Anime conventions, comic cons, gaming conventions, you name it. As you can tell, I've traveled. I have traveled. I've gone to many, many conventions, and this is just a fraction of them. But you know, in my travels and with everyone that I've met, whether they've gone for years or they're doing it for the first time, one of the things that I have found is that people don't really know what to do. How do you survive going to a convention? Well, I normally do a survival guide once a year before COVID. Well, I'm getting back to that, so we're gonna do a updated survival guide, a convention survival guide. If you've done it before, maybe I will give you something new. If you've never done this before, this is the perfect guide. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Brain, mouth, heart, badges, lanyards. So, oh, let's do this. I hope I'm able to help you guys out with this. And you can see the new microphone. I'm trying to upgrade and do better, okay? So, let's get to it. I can't wait to go. Get ready. Hey everybody, it's your boy Montel. What's going on? How's everybody doing? Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day, week, month, year, millennium. The seasons are changing. It's getting warmer. You're able to look out a little bit more into the future, things that you want to do. As you can tell, I have a new microphone. I'm trying to upgrade you guys. I'm trying to do more with this channel that I want to do, so that way I can give you guys more quality content. Hopefully you guys do what I tell you to always do. Wash your knees, covering this, staying this far away, or this far away, or this far away, or this far away. Looking out for yourselves, your loved ones, and each other. Thank you guys so much for joining me in this video. I wanted to come and bring an updated con survival guide. Now, if you guys have been a part of my channel since day one, you guys know that periodically I would do a con survival guide. And they were always updated bits of information about being a convention goer, and they were great for whether you've gone for your first time or you've gone multiple times. Well, this one is my first post-COVID con survival guide, and let me tell you, I'm a fan of conventions. I've been going to conventions for a little over 20 years, and every time I go I learn something different, and I always want to try and help educate other people from my perspective, because there's always something that you learned that you didn't know from the year before, no matter what type of convention it is. And then there are all types of conventions: comic cons, anime cons, gaming cons, combinations. You have popular culture cons. So much going on out here. But there's still a few basic rules and things that you guys may want to adhere to that make it a little bit easier on your experience. So I want to give those to you in this video, and if they help out, that's all I wanted. And if they add to your experience and they make it more pleasurable and a lot easier on you, then I've done what I'm supposed to do in this video. And if something new comes up later down the line, then guess what? I'm going to do another survival guide, and we're going to add that bit of information. But before we get started, I want y'all to do me a favor. In the comments, if there's been something in your travels, going to conventions, attending conventions, maybe working conventions, volunteering, that you've learned that's made your experience a lot easier, put it in the comments down below. I'd love to know. I'm always open to learning something new. Oh, I'm sorry. If you're here for the first time, hello. My name is Montel. I'm a YouTuber, Twitch streamer, podcaster. I'm on Instagram. I'm an advocate for the Blerd community. I like bringing positivity everywhere I go. Hashtag Blerdicorn is always on my mind, is always on my heart, because this is how I live. I am proud in my Blerd. I love to stay nerdy, stay geeky, stay sexy. Most importantly, I want everybody to be their best blerdy and nerdy selves, okay? I'm always about supporting folks in that endeavor. And if you haven't done it already, please subscribe. Please subscribe to my humble channel. If you want to check out all my other past content, please do it by all means. I've been on YouTube for 10 plus years, and I love what I do. I don't make anything off of this, but what I like to do is be able to be a voice in the wilderness, if you will. Please subscribe. please hit the notification bell so when I put up another video, you guys will be the first ones to check it out and you give me your honest opinion. And of course, like my videos. Please, please, please. I'm trying so hard all the time to create quality content. I'm not trying to compete with anybody. I'm not trying to be the best of anything, but I do like to be a voice. Maybe a voice of reason and just a different path. Maybe a different perspective. So anyway, let's get into it, shall we? So in my journeys in going to conventions, I have learned so many different things, and there's always a starting point. The first point I would say in surviving a con is deciding if you want to go. That right there can make a big difference. Some people were always on the fence. Well, I don't know if I want to go. If you know there's a convention that you want to go to and it's out far enough, start planning in advance. There's a lot of things that need to go into going to a convention, and anyone who goes to a con that you talk to will tell you there's a lot going on as far as the planning process. Because if you're working, you have to take that time off. If you're going to school, you have to make sure you get all of your studies done before that weekend starts. It depends on what's going on. So one of the first things I want to say is plan. Plan what you want to do. Plan this convention. Plan what you want to do. Plan your movements. And in planning, you're going to be doing another thing, which is getting your badge. If you're going to go, and if it's of a convention that is highly sought out, like San Diego Comic-Con, DreamCon, any other convention where there is a high probability of you not getting a badge, get your badge as soon as possible, because even if you don't go, you can always get it refunded. But if you get that and you're in, okay? I go to San Diego Comic-Con almost every year. And let me tell you, getting those badges are hard. I have my way of getting in because I go for work. But if you're just a regular convention goer, that is a process in itself. So plan by getting your badge. That's the first thing you want to do. Get your badge, get your registration, get that out the way. The next thing you want to do is find accommodation. One of my key points, and one of the things I always say, is if you can get a hotel, an Airbnb, if you have family in the area, you want to stay with them, something that makes it financially conducive for you. Now, some people don't care about money. They want to splurge. That's fine, but you still have to find a hotel, an Airbnb. Some people like to stay in hostels. That puts it so that it's easier for you to get from there to the convention, to the venue, to wherever the convention is being held. That's always key. Make it as comfortable as possible. If you can go with other people, do that, because the cost will be reduced drastically by bringing in more people, and bring people that you trust. Don't just randomly select someone willy-nilly. Accommodations. Find a place to stay. Make sure it's easy on you. Don't make this difficult. Don't make this hard. Just find a spot. If you can pay for it by yourself, wonderful. Don't put yourself out there. But if you can bring friends in, you can bring family in, and folks that want to attend, do that. Get a big enough room that everybody is comfortable. That way you can split the cost and keep it easy. Okay? Transportation. I can't tell you how important transportation can be, because the sooner you plan, the less it'll cost. Best example are out-of-town conventions that you can't drive through. We'll drive to. See, me, I love to drive, but I have to be realistic. If it's anything past 6 hours, then I'm going to contemplate flying there. Going to the airlines, or maybe you want to catch a train. Maybe you want to grab the bus. Maybe you want to ride along with somebody else. And there's nothing wrong with this, but just figure out what's going to be the best for you financially. What's the most conducive for you financially, and go for it. I personally, the furthest I will drive for a convention is 9 hours. I don't have a problem driving, but I have to be smart about it, because it means I have to get up early. I got to make sure everything is straight. And then I've got to hit the road early enough that when I travel, I'm not in the way of rush hour traffic. I can also avoid construction areas. And it's an easy, smooth trip where I'm not worried about if I'm going to get there on time. And travel. In that particular facet, if you plan to travel for a convention, give yourself at least 2 days. Give yourself at least 2 days. If you want to do 1 day, that's great. But also understand too, you're going to do a bit of rushing, because you're not going to be the only one who gets there the day before the con. Give yourself at least 2 days. That way, it's a smooth, easy pace. You can get there without feeling rushed. You can get checked into your room. You can check your registration. And maybe if there's any other little bips and bobs that you might need for the convention, which I'll go over in a moment, then you can get those from Walmart, Target, any other local stores. That makes it a little easier on you. Give yourself time, okay? It's not like the end of the convention where, okay, you can wait a day and then you're gone. No, you're coming into this. You're trying to prepare for this to be the best experience for you, okay? So, give yourself time when you travel. See, we got the registration, we've got the travel, we've got the accommodations. Packing. Packing is such a chore. I have friends of mine who are avid convention goers and even cosplayers, which I'm going to definitely address the cosplay aspect here in a moment. And they spend days packing because they're trying to figure out what's going to be the best thing to take. Here's my bit of advice for that. If you're going to go to a convention without cosplay, just pack the necessities. Underwear, shirts, jeans, another pair of shoes, your toiletries. If you want to bring something to be autographed, bring that. If you want to bring a sketchbook so you can go to Artist Alley, bring that. Bring something that will, and also bring a backpack, and we're going to talk about that here in a moment too. Just bring what's necessary for you to enjoy your experience. If you're flying, this is most important because they charge you by weight. If your bag is over 50 pounds, they will charge you extra. If you're bringing another bag, they will charge you an additional amount. Standardly, it costs $35 for a checked-in bag if you fly. If you bring another bag, that brings it to another $35. Now, if the bag is over 50 pounds, guess what? They're going to charge you more on that bag. Same thing with the other one. So you got to be careful. If you're flying and you're bringing cosplay stuff, yeah, you got to really be careful on that. But just be mindful of what you're going to bring. Now, if you're doing cosplay, depending on how far out the convention is, and depending on what you want to do, be smart about your choices of cosplay. Okay, you want them to be comfortable because you're going to be, more than likely, you're going to be in them all day. Don't bring a lot of props and don't bring a lot of extra stuff that you're never going to use, that you, well, I could use it. No, if you don't know you're using it for sure, don't bring it. Don't bring extra stuff that's going to weigh down your luggage, make you pay more for it. And then now you've got something here that you could have put in something, you could have taken something else instead of that particular thing. This is where a lot of critical thinking comes in. Okay, but pack simple. Pack simple. Pack what you think what you're going to need. Say, okay, I'm going to this convention. I'm not cosplaying. All right, I'm going to bring this, and make a list. Make a list. I always make a list of what I'm going to bring. That way I can look at it and go, no, I don't need that. Cross it out. Oh, I could use this. Put that in there and do that. Okay, that is the easiest thing in the world. Now, what do you bring? If you're going to just the convention, it's simple. Bring a backpack. Bring a backpack about this size, nothing bigger than this. And in this, you're going to put the following things. You're going to put water or beverages. You're going to get some light snacks from a local store. You're going to bring that extra pair of shoes if you know your feet are going to be hurting and you want something a lot more comfortable. This is where you're also going to put your sketchbook. Also, you're also going to bring extra power cords. I can't tell you guys how much of a lifesaver this was for me, especially going to San Diego Comic-Con, because outlets are at a premium. But you want to bring your power cords, especially if you bring in your iPad, your cameras, you're bringing another phone, if you're bringing your tablets, anything that involve electronics that involve charging for whatever you're doing, bring extra power cords. Your primaries and your secondaries are going to save your life. And with that being said, one thing that I've learned that I continue to profess about, bring a surge protector. San Diego Comic-Con 2017. I went and there is a place it's between the upper floor of the convention center and the main floor is called the mezzanine. Now that's also where they do their gaming events, the board gaming, Yu-Gi-Oh, video gaming, and there's also a spot where a lot of independent groups have their tables. There is a small bank of outlets that maybe 4 or 5. There aren't that many, and of course, you know, outlets only have 2 plugs. So if you know that you're going to be charging your stuff, you know you're going to fight for this. I brought this with me that year, and this gives me 6 plugs. So that 1 could turn into 6. Now, why is this such a great thing? Because this is perfect for public relations. This could actually help you meet new people. And those people can bring stories and even give you information, because when you plug this in, you now have 5 extra outlets. And someone will come along and says, hey, I need to charge my phone. Can I plug it in on your surge? Yeah, come on. And that year, I met 2 families and a couple of folks from Australia. And it was wonderful. This right here is definitely a community tool. And it's so simple, and it's small enough to pack. So if you have to carry something, carry this along with everything else that I suggested. You could be having a conversation about what they've seen at the con. Maybe there's something that's going on that you didn't know was going on and you don't want to miss it. Perhaps there's a panel coming up that you didn't even know was going on. Maybe there is a cosplay meetup that you didn't even read about in the apps or anything like that. So definitely check that out. Also, in your bag, they're going to give you a con guide. They're going to give you a set of maps. And they may give you a mini map. I know they do this at San Diego, and I know they do this at Dragon Con. But also, additionally, on top of that too, most of these conventions have apps where that you can go in, you can see what the lineup is, you can see the guests, you can check out the panels. Some of them use guidebook, and a lot of them use independently programmed apps. Like San Diego has one, Dragon Con has one, and I know there are a couple of others that use theirs as well. And these help me a great deal, especially when I have to plan where I want to go, because if I want to make it to this autograph session, but at the same time I don't want to miss out on this panel from the WWE, but Marvel's about to bring a new world premiere or something, then I want to make sure that I have time. Something may end up being missed, and that's one thing that you guys to remember, you guys. You're not going to hit everything at a convention. Don't stress about it. If you miss it, that's okay. That is all right. I promise you, it's not the end of the world. If you have something that you want to do, you're going to have to make choices. You're going to have to make decisions on what you're going to do. So make up your mind in advance. Things are going to change on the fly. That's fine. Just don't lose your mind if you miss out on a particular panel. That's okay. Trust me, I can't even tell you how many panels I missed out on, but the one that I made it to was the one that I wanted to go to, and I don't regret it at all. I've met so many amazing people. I've had a chance to meet people in the industry. I've had a chance to meet celebrities and people that I admire. It's a wonderful overall experience. You don't want to miss out on this. And another thing I want to definitely recommend as a cosplayer, I've always had to sit at home and figure out what cosplays I want to bring. We all want to make the best impression. We always want to bring our best selves to the convention. This ties into packing as well. If you are packing for a convention, you're a cosplayer, be smart. If you're flying, don't bring a lot. If you're driving, you have a little bit more room, but don't go ridiculous and bring miscellaneous things that you're never going to use. And the most important thing, the most important rule, I cannot stress this enough, have fun. So many people plan so much, they con crunch so hard for weeks and months on end before the day of the convention, and they get to the convention and they're so excited. They get so stressed, they forget to enjoy themselves. They forget to interact and connect with other people, to meet new people, to have reunions, to go to panels and workshops and performances and things like that. They totally forget that. Don't forget that. This is what it's all about. Being able to wear this, being able to wear these is everything. And you paid for the right to go to enjoy yourself. So go enjoy yourself. Please have fun with that. And don't worry about things that go wrong. Trust me, there's always something that's going to go wrong at a convention. I assure you of this. In my travels, I have had more things go catastrophically wrong than a little bit. But one of the things I can honestly say is I've had the chance to meet people that I admire. I've had a chance to make new friends. I've had a chance to build a con family at different conventions, at Dragon Con, which is one of my favorites, San Diego, Blerdicorn, MagFest. The list goes on and on and on and on. And now I can add PAX Unplugged onto that. Take the opportunity to enjoy your experience once you're there. When you're there, you're there. Bask in it, embrace it, be your best nerdy gritty blurdy self, like, oh my God, and have fun. And take away those memories. Take pictures, take lots of pictures, take lots of video, post them up on social media. Let the world see how much of a good time that you're having and the memories that you've made and the people that you've met, because those memories last forever. But you shouldn't miss out on these memories worrying about what you're going to wear on a particular day, what convention what cosplay you're going to bring. You know, how am I going to pay for this flight? Can I get a room? Do I do this by myself? Those are questions that you take enough time. You plan enough in advance that they will happen for you. Okay? And when they do, everything will be amazing. I promise you. So go back to what I said before. If you've gone to conventions, what's a piece of advice that you can give to a fledgling up-and-coming con-goer, or to someone who's seasoned and who's a veteran like myself? Maybe there's something that I missed, and hopefully I gave some information that worked out well for you guys. Oh, another thing too. Avoid convention food. Avoid convention food. Those venues charge you an arm and a leg for next to nothing. Get food before you go. Okay? Go to a local restaurant. I mean, I don't mean fast food. There are, now like in San Diego, in the gas lamp, there are delis, there are small restaurants. You can go there. There's one called the Cine Cafe that I love, and I've talked about this before in previous videos. You can get sandwiches and salads. You can get teas and sodas and everything. You can put it in your bag, take it to the convention center. You are set. You are absolutely good until you decide later that you want to get a substantial dinner, or maybe even later and get a decent lunch and come back. Okay? Planning ahead, thinking ahead, and getting advice from other con-goers is some of the strongest tools you'll ever possess. And don't be afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask what you should do. What do they suggest? What do you recommend? Because in the same breath that you're asking, they are going to ask you, and you can impart your wisdom. It's equivalent exchange, you guys. Oh my goodness, I love this. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I know this seemed a bit scattered for a convention survival guide, but I wanted to come on here and talk about it and give you guys the mindset that even though you have to plan for this grand adventure, this grand journey, it doesn't have to be overwhelming and stressful. Some people, they're going to make it stressful no matter what you do. But what are you going to do? How are you going to make this convention experience, whether it's your first or your 45th, just as memorable as previous? Okay? If I can help in any way, you're more than welcome to reach out to me through my social media. I think I've covered everything. Oh, and the last thing, lanyards. Bring lanyards for your badges. They'll offer them to you at the con, but you know, you want to have your own bling. You know, you want to look stylish on your own. By all means, do that. You can wait till the convention starts to go to a vendor, or you can get it before you come along. Bring yourself your own lanyard and look good while you're doing it. Looking amazing and phenomenal and just having fun, okay? Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope I was helpful. Please don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe. Please spread the word. Please share about my channel. I thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate every last one of you guys. And until later, as I tell all of you beautiful, sexy, nerdy people to do for me, please continue to do this for me, okay? Please stay nerdy, stay geeky, stay sexy, and always be proud in your blerd. Hashtag Blerdicorn, okay? You take care, you guys. And I'll see you in the next one, okay? Bye-bye.